20%. No drives up on Anders, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies. No Disney Star Wars trilogy fans of any kind. Only Mando fans who love Star Wars are allowed. But if you liked Ray, hit the road. You're not welcome. Anyway, and you know who I am. I am your Wookiee Wrangler, your Chaos Coordinator, your Scoundrel Scheduler, the bar manager, the owner of this place. I am wearing my fade-in t-shirt in honor of Kathleen Kennedy's lovely Oscar faux pas. Wanted to say hi and talk a little bit about the Oscars. How many here watched it? Nobody. Okay, cool. Because I don't think anybody did. The ratings were a disaster, but when you see the video coming out from the show, it's pretty telling that it was a joke. I mean, it was pretty much a virtue signaling clusterfuck. So there you go. Anyway, the only thing that was even remotely enjoyable was Harrison Ford, and he was sort of going he said some things about Blade Runner and the editing that I'm pretty sure Ridley Scott's going to say. Other than that, it was a disaster. But they got what they deserved. Okay. And of course, the aftermath, there's a black guy on Facebook crying that Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor because he wanted the black guy to win, because the black guy was black. Denzel Washington, I'll be right back. Let's see what else. It was, it was a virtue signaling, whatever. I mean, a movie that I've never seen, don't want to see, called Nomad, about a homeless person. Won Best Picture, and it was directed by a Chinese woman. I hope Z sees it. That's my opinion. It was pretty much a circle jerk of bullshit. As even more so than usual. The Oscars, in my opinion, haven't been an event, haven't meant something since the 90s. And even then, I mean, when you started getting movies that no one had seen, no one wanted to see winning, and it started to be a problem. I mean, these art house flicks that, have a message, like American Beauty, which is the most nihilistic pile of shit I've ever seen. I did see that. I rented it out. Got it home, watched it, and then wanted to take the VHS and put it in the fireplace and set it on fire. I hated that movie. The English Patient, very nihilistic movie. Beautifully done. The story is beautiful, but when you start digging into it and start really looking at it, you see what a nihilistic, meaningless story it is. All right, it's just not good. I was just watching Regarding Henry. Interestingly enough, produced by somebody named Jeffrey Abrams. Written by somebody named Jeffrey Abrams. Jeffrey Abrams is J.J. Abrams. And actually, Regarding Henry is a good movie. And maybe instead of sticking his nose into big budget franchises like Star Wars and Star Trek and DC, maybe JJ should just steer clear and do these little character studies, which is what Regarding Henry is. And Harrison Ford, again, underrated by far. When you watch that movie, he's playing one guy who, he started playing one guy, and Morton Bobby, and after he gets shot, had trauma and all that, his personality changes. The same guy, but different personality. And it's really a great role for him. The fact that he wasn't even nominated, to me, is just, you look at the Academy and go, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And that's one of the things I couldn't, I could never understand, you know. But yesterday he was pretty funny. I got to watch the aftermath. I got to watch it from on a video from a friend. Maze showed up with it in a message, so I got to watch it. And I mean, he's Harrison, you know, great guy, really just a great guy. But anyway, enough of the Oscars. I don't really look at these and even think, and I don't even know who won Best Actress. I don't care. I don't even know who won Best Actor. Anthony Hopkins. I don't care, though. Even though I think he probably deserved it. The man is a legend. And one of my favorites. So I guess I'll have to see The Father, because that was the movie he was nominated for. But, first off, last year was such a shitty year. Thanks. It's from 3PO's old store. But anyway, so let's talk about Gina. Anyway, we all know that the Bear Grylls episode is gonna be back. It's gonna be back. They're gonna show her episode with him on May the 10th. We don't know exactly how this came about, but she did. Hey, old redneck. But she did give kudos to Bear, who came in and said, "Look, we need to have this episode." And because Nat Geo sadly is owned by Disney, what don't they own? I really think that Iger stepped in and said, "No, this isn't going to happen anymore. This is, and yeah, so this is great." And we got to see. I mean, things are starting to look up a little bit, slowly but surely, and it's starting to look up. Lots of different Star Wars rumors going out. Keanu Reeves is rumored to be playing this character I've never heard of, King whatever, not Revan, even though he'd be a great Revan, I think. But I really think that the guy that plays Revan is going to have to be a really good actor. Okay, because Revan is a very complicated character. He's not John Wick. Let's put it that way. So I don't know if Keanu would be great for that role, but the character, and I can't remember who it is, that he was slated to play, who knows? Hey, Orange Hat. And so I'll have to see. I mean, it's going to end up being, I've said this before, I'll say this again. It's going to be a very long, drawn-out process. We're not going to hear about every sordid little detail. But my theory still stands that Kennedy threw the story group under the bus or is in the process of it. And they're gone before she is. Okay, they will get rid of that because then she can leave looking like she cleaned house of all these terrible troublemakers. She can blame them for all the bullshit. Okay, there's a reason why I say that. They're bringing back, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right, Maze. The reason why I say that is this. They're bringing back titles from Legends. We got Heir to the Empire, Darth Bane, Path of Destruction, and Shatterpoint. And those are the first three of probably many. The fact that she had to walk back her comments about not having any anything to get stories from, that'll be that I'm sure when she looks back on it, every time she thinks about it, she probably goes, "I can't believe I was lied to." Because I'm gonna tell you something. Tom is right. Tom is right. That woman doesn't know shit about what was going on in Star Wars. Nothing. She didn't know there were decades of novels and comic books, which I find hard to believe considering she was the co-president of Lucasfilm the last year or so. George owned it. I find it hard to believe, but she's that witless. I could see it. I could see it. She's not a helicopter mom. She's more of a do her own thing mom, and who gives a shit, you know? So, I'm sure she realized, or just thought of this, I'm sure that she realized saying that there wasn't any source material was a wrong thing to say because there's tons of it, and that it was much better than what they were getting, and that allowing Pablo and his little ilk of, or gang of losers, run wild was the wrong thing to do because he's not. Let's put it this way: Pablo Hidalgo's not a good steward of Star Wars. Pablo wants to do his own thing. Go back to what. No, I don't know if she was aware or not. I agree with Tom Connors. The stuff that they've heard leads me also to believe that she didn't know what the fuck was going on. And she just let people make decisions that were not capable of making decisions. She's a bad guy because she's incompetent. That's period, full stop, end of story. If you're a competent leader, you know what the hell you're doing. You know what you want to do, and you have a vision. They're all over the place. You got, Elon Musk. You've got, Lee Iacocca. You've got all kinds of men and women out there in the in industry and in media that have a clue about what's going on. Donald Trump, he knew what was going on with his people. He made it very clear that he knew what was going on. She got a bunch of people working for her that were little clones of her ideology. And because she's an ideologue, not an idealist, there's a difference. And she let them run rampant. And, all right, here's an example. And Tom Connors likes to use this, and I agree with him on this. He pointed out that she waited until Solo was 80% done to pull the plug on the directors. She didn't watch the dailies. She's the president of Lucasfilm and a producer of the movie. She didn't watch the dailies. She wasn't there on the ground. Are you kidding me? All right? She didn't have no fucking idea what was going on. And that was the moment when that movie came out and flopped. And all the trouble was leaking out like from the set like a sieve, that Iger was like, oh God, she doesn't know what she's doing. And he took over and then stopped making anthology movies and basically stopped putting movies out, except for The Rise of Stinkwalker. That was it. We will see feature movies, Star Wars movies again, but they're going to be made by different people. They're going to be made by people who care about it. Jon Favreau and, other people. I mean, I gotta say, Kevin Feige, from what I've heard, whispered, is a bigger Star Wars fan than he is a Marvel fan. And so we'll see. But going back to Gina, that was, I think, the biggest last straw that they could have. They probably told Kennedy, we're not gonna, no, she's making money for us. And it didn't work. All right, firing Gina, she went over the heads of the Bobs. Because if you remember the Deadline Hollywood story, it didn't go any higher than, it went above Favreau's head at Lucasfilm, but it didn't go into Disney. That's what the story said. Okay, so let me explain. If it didn't go to Disney, the Bobs were caught flat-footed too. Okay? And I, look at it and go, they can't afford to lose her. So let's talk about the reason why I say that. And I mean Gina. First off, the most popular character in The Mandalorian besides Grogu is Gina Carano's Cara Dune. Okay? First. Second of all, money makes the world go round. And if any of the channels that sell merch ever does get woke, go broke t-shirt, I'm buying one. Disney isn't making any money in their parks. They're not making any money in the cruise lines. The cruise lines are shut down. They have since stopped expansion of Galaxy's Edge. And that tells me that they're reskinning it for Mandalorian in that whole motif rather than the prequel trilogy with Rey, the Beth Eva. If you look at the merchandise that Hasbro has on offer, where's the sequel trilogy? The last sequel trilogy character that came out from Mando or from Hasbro was Dark Rey. And everybody who's seen them, people I know that bought them just because they wanted the collectible so they'd have it, were like, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible sculpt. Okay. It was just thrown together because they thought they could make something from it. Now the excuse was that Disney there weren't the decision making for a lot of the toys and everything was so haphazard, and it kept changing that Hasbro said, fuck it, we'll wait till the movie comes out. And what they had out, what they offered, was nothing. I mean, there was nothing, no one wanted it. I mean, if I got a BB-8, I would let my dog eat it. If they rolled around on the floor, a big one, it would be his toy. I'd let him chase it. But, and Night's Edge is on now, so I'm probably going to get off here real quick. But I did want to go in there and say the reason why Gina's probably going to come back is Jon Favreau wants her back. They're friends. I know that he went to bat for her. She is very popular amongst the cast. Carl Weathers, Pedro Pascal, they don't agree with each other politically. Obviously, you can be an adult and not agree with somebody politically, but still be friends. Shocker! Oh my God! And Disney needs her. Mandalorian needs her. And Disney needs to offer an olive branch to the fans who are pissed. Okay? And she's not the kind of person to hold a grudge if they do it right. And when I will say, when we hear, because we will hear about the story group. We will hear it. We will hear it. When story group leaves, there will probably be rumors of Gina coming back. Watch Twitter explode. Okay. Then Kennedy will leave and then she'll come back. And the fans do need her. They do. We do need her. But anyway, a little bit about annoying fake Star Wars fans. If you're on Instagram, there's a guy named Willie Halloran who attacks everybody who hates the sequel trilogy and attacks people who like Gina. I really let him have it today, to the point where I was, doing the emoji, fuck you, flipping the bird emoji at him. People like that are not Star Wars fans, okay? If I'm sorry. If you like the trilogy, I can't respect you. The sequel trilogy, I can't respect you. All right, you're not a Star Wars fan. Period, full stop. Okay, you're not. You're a virtue signaling, soy addicted slob. And yes, I'm gatekeeping. And the reason why I'm gatekeeping is this. You don't get to like what destroyed what I loved. Okay? Period, full stop. And don't sit there mealy-mouthed and saying, well, you can like what you like. No, that's not how it works. Because the rest of the story ruins everything that came before it. There's no reason for any of the fucking shit that came before it if it ends up with the sequel trilogy. Okay? That's why you're not a fan. And if you can't understand that, I can't help you. Please go take a flying leap. Okay? Because I have fucking had it with these people. I have had it. Virtue signaling, SJW, and I'm not going to tolerate it. If you are a sequel trilogy fan, you are not a Star Wars fan. If you like Kyle Ron and think he was a great, well-written character, you aren't a Star Wars fan. Okay? And I'm gonna say that to the day I die, and I'll come back as a ghost and haunt all of you. All right? Because it's true. All right? It is a remarkable comment on the culture of today that shitty, vile, poorly written dumpster fires can even get 3 people to like them. Think about it. That's how low the bar's been set. Anyway, this is stuff. I gotta go. I will see you guys at Midnight's Edge. So it was short. It was sweet. And hi, sir. How you doing, House Atreides? I'm going to Midnight's Edge now. I'll see you around the galaxy. You're right, Matt.